One time like this, make it pop like this, make it knock like this, make it drop like. One time like this, make it pop like this, make it knock like this, make it drop like.
Hello. Ladies and gentlemen. Did I mention ladies? It's my pleasure to introduce myself. I go by the name of Ghost. I will be your tour guide through this story. This story was created for my future son. Unfortunately, as I got into it, it became a lot more than I bargained for. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you groan, roll you something up. And pour yourself a drink. If not, get a juice box, bitch. I don't give a fuck. This story is written as real people, and written in the format of an anime. So don't get sidetracked by the images. I'm just poor and can't afford real actors. Everyone is in mass panic. Terror of the news about the order of the New World's government had spread faster than light. Everyone rushed inside to hide in fear, knowing the only means of defense on this planet was planning to leave at this very moment. The Order had to find a way to fight a king if they ever came in contact with one that wouldn't come quietly. So they created drones that could use soul energy weapons. These drones were way too powerful for an ordinary human, but for a master king they would need a whole army just to make them break a sweat. For an unpolished kings like Kaido and Katsuo, however, they would definitely serve their purpose. The drones come in 4 different levels, one's being the highest. Then there's 5 different levels for each level of drones. They will only send out level 3s and up with major events.
Katsuo, Mother, and myself all ran to the house in a panic, because the second they entered the airfield chamber around the planet and got close enough they would begin their attack on the planet. As we ran we could hear the sounds of their fleets of airships letting off barrages of gunfire. The sounds of drones destroying things soon followed. Hearing all the blood-curdling cries from the people screaming as they took their last breaths was the hardest thing to block out. Those sounds will always be etched into my memory forever. The house was the safest place we could think of to escape to at the moment. It was the only place on the whole planet strong enough to protect ourselves from the attack of the Order of the New World's government. It was built specifically for that reason. Our dad did anything he could to protect himself, and that house was his untouchable safe haven. The house had secret passageways spread out all over town. We caught the closest one under some bushes by the lake. The secret passages were narrow hallways just big enough for us to run through. We ran as fast as we could down the dimly lit pathway. "I need to hide you," and your brother uttered Mom in complete fear. "And your father's the only one who can do it," she added. I stopped and told them to go on ahead. The universe's strongest man was going to step in and take control of the situation, sending them back crying. "We don't have time for this," said Mom. 15 level 5s came storming in the back of the walkway. Kaido and Mom ran even faster when they saw them, realizing what had just happened. I stood at the center of the walkway, standing between Mom, Kaido, and the drones. The drones were coming at me full on, ready to take us out. I laughed at them. "You pitiful fools, you can't touch me, I'm the strongest man in the universe." I stuck my hand out ready to deal them an extreme amount of pain. The drone that was at the front of the group charged at full speed towards me. I sighed. That idiot got himself knocked out by the drone. While we need to be getting out of here, this idiot gets knocked out. I guess I'm just going to have to clean things up for him again. I created a huge water ball, hurling it down the hallway, making sure not to hit Katsuo, who laid unconscious in front of the drones, or the walls, damaging the walkway. It was flying with enough force to rip through the drones, and right as it was about to pass over Katsuo's body, that idiot Katsuo stood up. It was going too fast, and I couldn't stop it before it hit. I knew the water ball wasn't going to kill him, but when the water balls hit their target they unleash a wave of water, sweeping you back with its currents. It hit him, sweeping them down the walkway all the way to the back. "Why of all times did you stand up then, you idiot?" I had them, I yelled at Katsuo. Mom had finally made it to the end of the path and opened the secret hatch that led to the basement of our house. Katsuo stood back up. I could barely make him out, but I knew it was him. I am the universe's strongest person, even though I can't control my powers all that well yet, and I'm not that good of a fighter yet. A man of my caliber would never willingly accept an outsider's help when fighting, especially from a guy like you. Now go back with Mom, and let the universe's brightest shining star bring them down to their knees." I ran back to Mom, catching back up to her in the basement. We ran up the stairs in a relief that we had finally made it back in the house. We were heading up to see what Father's plans were for handling the arrival of the order and the announcement to set off a reset. We got to the top of the stairs and opened the doors that lead to the main hallway. When we walked in, we noticed immediately that the house was torn to shits. It looked like a serious shootout went on in here. All level 4 drones are equipped with energy guns. Our hearts were racing as we frantically rushed to Dad's office, kicking in the doors. All our hopes disappeared when we stampeded in and saw the scene. Father's lifeless, bloody body lay sitting there on the floor, his blood dripping off of every part of the room. My mother never cried so hard. Not only has her husband died, but now there was no one to protect Katsuo and I. If they had already gotten our father, it would take no time for them to find us. Mother rushed over to Father's body and searched him for anything we could use to protect ourselves with. As she flipped the body, a key chip fell out of Father's hand. It had the words "King Ship" inscribed on it. Mother and myself gazed upon the key and thought back to the rumors of my father's travel vessel. As we gazed at it for a moment more, then Mother continued searching his body. She found his credit card and a folded up piece of paper. She opened it up, and it was the coordinates to the ship on a map written above the dot. Read, KS. This had to be where it was. "It's the King Ship," I yelled out. And explosions went off downstairs. Something had blown up. Katsuo must be really giving them hell down there. The sound of soul energy guns kept going off and was getting closer and closer. At that moment, Katsuo came hightailing it through the door and quickly locked it. Sorry, the universe's strongest man couldn't handle it this time. I tried to run away from them, but when I got in the house, they were right behind me, still shooting at me. Wait. From the walkway to the basement is a straight shot, and once you came into the house to come up here, they would have seen you from the first floor. Damn it, Katsuo, don't tell me. Yup, I laughed. They were a lot stronger than I thought. I guess I didn't eat enough today. This is why I always tell him not to start fights with his powers the way they are. I wish he would listen to me. Sometimes we could save ourselves from a lot of problems that way. All 15 level 5 drones came breaking through Dad's room door. They must have been waiting outside the door, listening to who was in the room and what we were doing. We grabbed the map and the key and headed for the King Ship. The second they came in, we ran to the far corner of the room where the next hatch was to a separate walkway. Kaito put up a water barrier around us, sucking in all the energy shots that tried to penetrate it, as we opened the secret escape hatch in the bottom corner of the wall. It led us to a safe path that would put us in the direction we needed to go to get to the airship. An explosion rang out. As we ran to the center of the hallway, we saw a bright light coming behind us, our mom standing in its path. The light came racing towards us, then it got brighter and brighter, then it exploded, making us fall to the ground. One of the drones shot a soul energy shot at us, and it hit Mom. Me and Kaito lay there with our mother's blood dripping off of us.
This story is meant to do one thing, and one thing only. I won't give you answer now, but when you realize what it is, I hope it brings you the same peace of mind it brought me. There's no agenda or propaganda that comes with it. I give you my hand openly, if you choose to accept it. Oh. Like and subscribe, you lazy ass, punk bitch. With love. Ghost.